Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here with the Performance Lab of California, and we're going to do another breakdown here today. It's going to be on the Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Kind of hard to say. Tagovailoa is going to be the new guy, the new freshman. Won the game, the national championship game last night for Alabama. Came in the fourth quarter through what stands out with him is the amount of power that he can really create in his body. He's kind of a stockier guy, and when he comes through, he has kind of a outward to inward movement of the arm, and typically what we tell people is you don't really want the ball to be outside the elbow when you're coming through and throwing. But the reason that it works for him is because usually what's happening is the person's going from kind of back behind here and like allowing the ball to get back around to the outside and then kind of circling back around, and that puts a lot of pressure on the elbow. But that's not really what he's doing. He's leaving that arm kind of back there. He's not allowing to get the ball back behind his head, and then he's coming around and kind of cocking it through and just flicking the wrist and rotating his elbow all the way through. So he really has a lot of ability to get great range of motion in the shoulder, and he puts a lot of stretch on that pec, and that's what big part of his throwing motion is, and that's why it looks a little bit different. Is just because he starts out with it pretty low down. He doesn't have much of a loading cocking phase. It's just kind of raising up that elbow, keeping the ball placed, and he has a great ability to supinate in that hand. You can see how he's rotating through right there and getting that nose of the football facing straight ahead very early on in the throw. And then he's able to create really a lot of power in his arm without putting very much time and energy into loading the arm, right? A lot of times what you see, especially with younger quarterbacks, is there's a lot of extra time spent in the loading process because the shoulder doesn't feel like it can create the amount of force as it possibly can. And so it has to go through more movement, more loading mechanisms. What Tua's doing here, Tua. What he's doing here is he's really not spending too much time in any type of loading phase. He's just corking that arm back and then letting it rip. And this is also a big testament to the strength that he's able to create in his lower body. So you can see he starts, and this is something that we got to work on overall for a lot of quarterbacks, is you got to be able to get that front foot down. Okay, and then when you get that front foot down, then that pivot comes in, and that pivot is so crucial because we see this pivot in quarterbacks time and time again that are playing at the top level. But then within the more used high school quarterbacks, you just don't see that pivot as much. And if you do, it's too late. Okay, when you're doing this pivot, you want to make it so that foot gets down. Okay, then you're pivoting that back foot to get the hips to rotate, and then that's when also the shift of the weight happens. So you don't open up that front leg and make it so all of your weight shifted forward at the very beginning. You want to get that front foot down, okay, and then you're beginning that pivot as that front foot's touching the ground, and then as you're continuing that pivot, now your weight shift is coming forward and making it so you can create some disassociation in the hip, okay, and then then you're using the core and the shoulder to snap through. He does he's really quick in starting to begin the process of bringing his spine and arm through, which helps him decrease his release time, and also is a testament to his very limited loading or cocking phase. So yeah, that's a quick kind of breakdown of Tua there. I got another angle here from the other side, more so to see his finish. So from the back, you do a good job. You can really see the finish well. It's awesome that he's a lefty also. So when you can see when he's coming through here, he gets full range all the way into the actual movement, and that front leg is very strong all the way through and continuous rotation. Okay, keeps on going. We want to be able to ensure continual rotation within that front leg in order to fully maximize the throw. And you can see that he does a good job of that there. Real quick, I'm going to go back to that other one just to show kind of how he leans forward as well when he's actually releasing the ball, which is similar to what pitchers do. And I think we've talked about this a few times. The more we do this, the more you see the similarities of being a pitcher and also being a quarterback. Oh, that's the right one. So here from the back, we could also see that as he's coming through, he does a great job of continuing that arm to rotate through as his back arm, so his right arm continues to rotate through as that left arm's coming forward. So, and that's a good emphasis to have on, because there's a great relationship between that right arm and the left arm. They want to be working together. You don't want that right arm to open up too soon and create a bad separation between your back arm, and then you also don't want it to stay put and make it so you limit the ability for that for his case, the left arm or throwing arm to come through. So if you stop that front arm, it makes it so you can't get that full rotation there. See how that's really important? What you have to be able to do is you want to be able to connect that right and left shoulder really well together, so when that right arm is going back, that left arm is also coming through, or as the left arm is coming through, that right arm is going back. However you want to better understand it in your mind is fine. It just, you got to be able to understand that concept of how that right arm or front arm is working with the back arm. So, yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. I think we'll get a lot of information from the breakdown. If you have any questions, let me know. Email is Morey, M-O-R-E-Y, @yourperformancelab.com. We got a bunch of different things for you guys to learn more. We had an online throw program that's going right now that I think is really doing wonders for people. We also do a strength and conditioning side of that as well, or shoulder development side of that as well. We can do an individual breakdown for you. We have a whole online membership for you. Just trying to provide as much value for athletes as we can. We're going to actually get our speed. We have a new speed book coming out too, and you can combine the throw program with our speed program and make it so it's a whole off season of getting great mechanic training from wherever it is in the world. That's the big thing. The big value that we add for anybody that's watching these videos is you could do our training program completely online, something that is never really been done before, at least not effectively that we've heard, and we're going to try to change that and make it so that becomes something that is more attainable for people in the entire world. So we thank you guys for watching these videos as always, and looking forward to seeing you soon.